Hi, I'm Lesia. In the summer of 2021, during the period of pandemia, Swiss Convention Bureau invited me to take part in the filming of an inspection tour. That's how I found myself in Crans-Montana. Saying mountains, we imply Crans-Montana. From the very first moment that I found myself on those altitudes, I left behind all the unneedful ado. Bad mood, everyday hurry-scurry. I played golf, went hiking in the mountains, climbed trees, experienced aromatic ecstasy gathering alpine herbs, and of course tasted the local wines and delicacies. That's where you find yourself above mundanity in all senses. Crans-Montana consists of two settlements, the respectable Crans, where most five-star hotels and brand boutiques are located, and the most affordable and youth-oriented Montana, the two villages having gradually grown together. Crans-Montana does take care of its appearance, and the resort is built over mostly chalets of age you'll never guess. However, at special spots, you can see some heritage of the 1970s when construction gained popularity. Before I came here, I just know that Crans-Montana was a mountain ski resort. Its sales director Pierre-Henri Minetti told us that in summer people come to Crans-Montana to play golf. The place has the most exceptional golf course in the world with 18 holes. During walks between shots, the golfers enjoy the fantastic views of Matterhorn and Mont Blanc. Severiano Ballesteros, the legendary Spanish player who in the 1970s won the British Open. To play on this course, sportsmen need the handicap of minimum 36. The place is also famous for the fact that every year it hosts the most beautiful tournament of the season, Omega European Masters, with winner's pot of over 2 million euros. Oh la la, well, actually, French is the most spoken language here. The quickest way to get to Crans-Montana is from the Geneva airport, 180 kilometers by car, or 2 hours by train to Sierra, and then a 20-minute travel in a cable car. From the Zurich airport, you'll have to cover the distance of 300 kilometers. So, a couple of hours on a picturesque road, and we are in the heart of the mountains. Pierre-Henri accommodated us at the Hotel L Étrier. In 2016, it was fully renovated, and now it's quite fitting to bring a group here. Its 60 suites are decorated with local Swiss pine, as is usually the case at Alpine resorts. The hotel has a large swimming pool around which you may arrange a barbecue party. For such events, there's also a lawn and a summer kitchen at your command. At the hotel lobby, one feels like sinking into an easy leather armchair and admiring the panorama of the mountains with a cup of coffee. That's what Henriette, the head of the accommodation office, told us about the place.
So in summer we have a huge terrace where we can organize conferences, aperitif, banquet, weddings as well. So it's a nice spot. People love to be outside. When the weather is not good, we can also organize inside and outside swimming pool. We have also this place here, 150 people fit in. So yeah, it's a very well-known place for weddings or big banquet for huge events. And we collaborate with the paddlers, so both hotels are communicating, so it's a great choice to stay by us for this kind of events.
Of course, you can guess what I got my teeth into after the accommodation at the hotel. Visiting Crans-Montana in summer and not playing golf is something unthinkable. Despite some experience and basic understanding of the game, it turned out very difficult to adopt the necessary posture and to hit the sphere. The Geifel golf creates the illusion that everything happens easily and effortlessly, but in fact, you have to strain some muscles of which you never guessed that you had.
Excellent.
But then when you do hit the ball, your delight is boundless. Precision, composure, and patience. These are the success factors, not just in golf, but in business as well.
I don't want to lift the ball.
A master class like this is something unrivaled for developing corporate team building skills. Our coach, Frederick Hoffman, confirmed my guesswork.
Anybody can play golf. Anybody can play. As long as you can walk, you can move, there's no problem. When we do group lesson, we go normally up to between 6 to 10 person per pro. Okay, if 30 person wants to have a lesson, there is no problem. There are going to be at least 3 different pros or up to 4. Every week or even every weekend, we organize big tournament for at least between, I will say, 80 to 120 person, 140.
After an interesting and heart-pounding game of golf, it was just the time for aperitif and dinner. We spent our first evening at Crans-Montana at a unique place, Guarda Golf Hotel. The luxurious boutique hotel is housed in a number of chalets connected by underground passages. At the hotel, you get the impression that you have come to visit your millionaire uncle. So warm-hearted and personal is the atmosphere of the halls and suites, as if each article of the interior design were selected to the liking of the owner, and nothing is reduplicated. If you plan a board of directors conference or a special incentive program, Guarda Golf is the right place for you. The hotel's sales director, Simon Schenk, told us why guests choose exactly his place.
The thing is, we are in Crans-Montana, we are in the mountains. So groups coming here, of course, very often they link it to also some leisure activities. So it's groups that come here, they would not go to a big city because they come here because they want to be in the mountains. So what is really unique, I think, in Crans-Montana is, and in Guarda Golf, of course, is that you are in the middle of the nature. So you can do the activities in the nature. You can have still a business meeting in one of our meeting rooms. You can have a private dinner in one of our private dining rooms. You can have a team building event, for example, on the golf course, which is just in front of the hotel. And at the same time, we are in the center of Crans-Montana, so you have all the shops within walking distance and everything. So I think this makes it quite unique because we have everything together in a small area, and this, in my eyes, makes it really special.
The hotel also has cozy parlors, spas, and even a movie house. But my heart was touched by the restaurant and the artless name, 5, where for a start, our table was piled up high with various kinds of Middle Eastern meze, which turned it into an oasis of gluttony, savoring white wine and indulging in an unhurried conversation with Pierre-Henri. We spent an evening of splendor and hedonism. Don't delude yourself. The melodrama is over. The blockbusters start. In the morning, we had to shake off the blissful idleness and slothfulness, and in search of adventure to set off for the ropes course at Lake Maubra. Fun Forest is a place where anyone who feels like it can have a good clamoring time, even if it's been a long time since you were 16 or 26. There are routes for any age, level of fitness, or even total abstinence thereof. You remember that I'm not an avid fan of extreme sports, don't you? And as for my bad head of heights, it's beyond words. But what wouldn't you do to act in a film? The height has to be cleared. After all, surmounting obstacles trains your willpower. Nicholas, a pleasant smile on his face, told us about the wide choices of activities for mice groups.
So we use for people and for company special team building. It can start in the Parc Acrobranche. We open routes for people. Then we also propose activities from the valley to the top of the mountains. Okay, we have big scooters. We use them to go down to Sierre, which is fantastic. We also propose a Rando Park on the trees, on the mountains. And for team buildings, we can adapt. We usually propose at the end big apéro, which is very nice for people. With Crans-Montana Tourisme, we have many solutions. For example, just 100 meters behind me, we have a hall where we can do climbing, badminton, tennis, and many activities in town.
Getting over our fear of heights, for lunch we decided to climb still higher and set forth to the unique Chetzeron Hotel, 2,021 meters above sea level. Ahead of us, we had high cuisine in the straight sense of the word. You can get to the hotel either by lift, making a descent on foot from Kreider Station, or in the general director's jeep from the village. The ride along the serpentine track stirred my pulses. Not until we met a herd of black cows. The only thing I could think of was safeness. The tinkling of the bulky bells was soothing, like a symphony orchestra. However, later on I was told that these had been cows of a fighting breed. The history of Chetzeron Hotel is quite unusual. It was opened in the building of the disguised cable road station. Each of its 16 suites bears the name of the Alpine peak which you can see from its window, Mont Blanc and Matterhorn among them. In winter, skiing and in summer, hiking trails go right next. The styling design of the hotel is iconic and functional, combining natural materials like stone and oak with the concrete walls of the used-to-be station. In the restaurant, one can easily tell where the stopping point of the cable car used to be. Here you have conference rooms with exciting views and an open-air swimming pool, with a hydro massage on a terrace with a mountain view, and even clouds which you can touch with your hands. In good weather, summer and winter alike, Grill Terrace is at your service. Putting up at this place for a couple of days, coming to know your colleagues better, great idea for company reboot. Sami Lama, the hotel director, told us what his guests appreciate most.
Guests choose to be here because we are just half an hour from Crans-Montana and we are in the middle of the mountains. It's quite a perfect location in the altitude. We have 4 seasons. We have 4 incredible seasons, all very different one to the other. So customer can even come each season and have different experiences. That's the main reason people to come here. Second is the food, which is very important for us. So all season we have all fresh food, homemade from the garden. That's another USP we have. And the third and very important one is the design. We're very unique in the middle of the mountain. We have a very special design, very clean, very aesthetic, and everything is very silent. For the outside guests that want to join us for dinner and cannot find a room with us, we organize every evening a transportation just for dinner. So we have 2 huge snowcat with a cabin, is heated. So you can also from the resort enjoy a dinner at Chetzeron every evening.
In summer, mountain hiking is very popular in Crans-Montana. After lunch, we return to the resort on foot. All trails are thoroughly marked, and it's impossible to lose your way. The air is so pure and tasty that you can eat it with spoonfuls. Actually, Switzerland is not just mountains. It's unimaginably pure flowery air. If only you could put it in a can and take it home with you. However, it turned out that there's a better solution. You can take back home aromatic oils from Alpine herbs. For several generations, the Mayer family has been engaged in eco-product business. At L Étrier factory, among alpine meadows and rivers, in the 1950s it was just a farm, whereas at present it's a factory for the production of ether oils and herbs. You can come here for a tour and see all the production stages, bear a hand in crop harvesting, and test the product quality. We were shown fields of purple sage, lavender, melissa, marjoram, and even edelweiss. The fragrance of the pink lilac waves was magnetizing. When I was offered to work for a while in the field with a reaping hook, it didn't take long for them to persuade me. It's a real pleasure picking the tasty herbs while savoring their aroma, and actually some physical activity after lunch was quite welcome. At the factory itself, we saw the actual process of ether oils distillation. On the face of it, it looks quite simple, but the fact that it's important to thoroughly observe the temperature scenario, the speed, and the time setting. One false twitch and the herbs are spoiled. The distillation equipment used was designed by its owner. This is what the aroma expert Emily Aron told us about their family business.
So we are here on the Myers family farm, and they are here since 3 generations. They produce plants, and they work for many Swiss companies like Valais, so they provide plants for them, or they work for Ricola also. And the third part of their exploitation is to make some essential oil and flower water.
After thanking Amelie for the fascinating tour and stocking up on various oils and cosmetics, we moved on. Ahead of us, we had aperitif in the midst of vineyards and dinner at Le Tambourin winery. We started the tasting of 6 wines at the vineyard of the farm stand with a panoramic view of the Rhone Valley. The charming married couple of Mandaline and Ismail Bonvin brought us to an observation ground on a mountain slope and first thing uncorked their champion wine. Chetzeron from Tambourin winery has been awarded quite a number of Wine Festival Grand Prix. Madeleine Bovin, the handsome winery owner, told us about the unique wines of Valais canton.
So by us, the most popular wine is Petit Arvin, because you can only find here in Switzerland and really got a fantastic taste. And otherwise we also get some Dieu Noir that was created here in Valais, and Guarda that is our specialty. So by Le Tambourin, a wine tasting, first we explain what kind of soul we get. So what is the grapes, the etymology, the history, and then we also focus on the scent and all the aroma you can find on this wine. In this tasting, it can go from 4 up to, I will say, 16.
It's amazing, but you never get tired of mountain scenery. You don't get the feeling you've had enough. Admiring the beauty of the Alps with a glass of fendant in your hand is a nice close of the day, full of experience and overcoming. Tasting red wines took place already in the wine cellar of the Bovine family, where Madeleine told us the history of the family brand. One of Ismail's ancestors used to drum up his fellow villagers to crop harvesting with the Tambourin. That's how Tambourin became the winery talisman. Some years ago, Ismail performed rebranding, and together with the artist Pierre Zouffre, came up with an iconic symbol for the new wine. The evening reached completion with a Rasselet dinner at the Bovines. It turned out that they also owned a cozy restaurant for 20 persons, with a projection unit and an atrium for prolonged get-togethers. At sunset in the Rhone Valley, between heaven and earth, I suddenly became acutely aware of how much over the past year I had missed traveling. We really do need vivid impressions and new horizons, and I'm sure that they're in the mountains.
You need chalet style, you need Crans-Montana.
You need golf? You need Crans-Montana.
You need warm-hearted hospitality. You need Crans-Montana.
You need adventure. You need Crans-Montana.
You need the top of the world, you need Crans-Montana.